on the bottom of your screen, so you can click on that option and you can get closed captioning. I'm glad everybody is here. We can't be in person, but we are together in spirit. I think we can all say that 2020 has been a wild ride so far. It has been a year full of anxiety, fear, and uncertainty, but we will make it through. We need to stay positive, stay together. A year like this can really make you think about what really matters in life. 18 years ago, a group of individuals founded Peace Action Staten Island. Over the years, it has worked steadfastly to educate and motivate Staten Islanders to bring us back from the brink of anxiety and fear caused by endless wars, nuclear dangers, bloated Pentagon budgets, and the militarization of our society. It has also stood in solidarity with the movement for Black lives and the calls for fundamental change in policing in our communities. Peace Action Staten Island is a chapter of Peace Action New York State, which is an affiliate of Peace Action. Peace Action works for a smarter approach to global problems by working cooperatively with other nations. We need to work together to overcome the partisan politics and the divisive rhetoric to reach a success on resolving many issues that face us. Every problem has a solution. All experiences are opportunities to learn, to grow, and better ourselves and our world. One of the major causes of anxiety this year, of course, has been the coronavirus crisis. To date, there have been 18,078 confirmed cases on Staten Island, and sadly, 1,104 deaths. We would be remiss to not acknowledge these souls today. So to present a tribute to the COVID victims, I would like to present Peace Action Staten Island Chair, Eileen Bardell.
Thank you, Mary. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Make Food Not War with Peace Action of Staten Island. Today, we honor community members who are making our lives better. Congratulations to our honorees. To Honorable Debi Rose, Councilmember for the 49th District. To Rebecca Del Vecchio, who is a former Peace Action student organizer. To Terry Troia, the CEO and President of Project Hospitality. To Dr. Imam Tahir Kukiqi with the Albanian Islamic Cultural Center. Congratulations to all of you. Later on in our program, we will be having a presentation by the young leaders of Staten Island. Before going forward, let us take a moment to remember the lives lost to COVID-19 and the heroic and dedicated healthcare workers. I have worked in healthcare for over 31 years, and I will never forget how our nurses and doctors and essential workers tried so hard to work around this virus to help the lives of those who were suffering. The pandemic has revealed a divide that has yet to be solved, both economically and racial. We can't be complacent as we await the arrival of a new president. We need Medicare for all. Please learn about the New York Health Act in the New York State Legislature. Health before profit. That is the only way out of the mess that we are in. And we must act now. And now I will turn the program back to our wonderful MC, Terry Cagliari.
Thank you for those very inspiring words, Eileen. In these times, it's been said at all times, actually, that music can heal the wounds that medicine cannot touch. The song echoes in the ache between the mind and the heart. It grieves the absence of loved ones and rejoices in the kindness we have known. Today, we have the pleasure of entertainment by Hegazy, which is a New York-based duo made of twin sisters, Leila and Omnia. After maintaining parallel careers as solo artists in seemingly opposite genres, Leila, a vocally driven R&B singer, and Omnia, a rebellious pop rock artist, they fuse their music styles to create their own distinct sound. They dedicate their music to fighting social, political, and cultural stereotypes, and to send a message of empowerment, urging their audience to follow their dreams without caring about other people's opinions. It's my pleasure now to introduce Hegazy.
Having us, guys. We're so honored to be here. This song we're going to play is called Alive. I don't have to fall asleep when I want to dream. I've been over counting sheep, numbers felt too absolute for me. They don't want time for it's mine, and only mine to waste. I may be lost, but I'll thrive if you just let me be brave. They'll never understand the spirit that compels me. I'm the leader of my band, and I don't need a blessing. I'd sit on shores of glass before I do your bidding. I won't die before I know that I'm alive. I need outside air to breathe. There is glory in mundanity. Just a dose of morning calm, I'll be ready for calamity. They don't own my life, for it's mine, and only mine's a waste. I may be lost, but I'll be fine. Rather be lost than be tamed. They'll never understand the spirit that compels me. I'm the leader of my band, and I don't need a blessing. I sit on shards of glass before I do your bidding. I won't die before I know that I'm alive. Let me sit next to the window. Give me sunlight and I will grow. I may wander to and fro, but please just let me go. They'll never understand the spirit that compels me. I'm the leader of my band, and I don't need a blessing. I'd sit on shards of glass before I do your bidding. I won't die. They'll never understand the spirit that compels me. I'm the leader of my band, and I don't need a blessing. I'd sit on shards of glass before I do your bidding. I won't die before I know that I won't die before I know. Thank you, guys, and congratulations to the honorees. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All righty. We are now part one of our awards ceremony. Everything that's happening is happening for a reason. At first, it's hard to think of it as a positive, but I honestly feel like there will be a change after all of it. Our generation is being involved. We have a strong voice and we have a platform. And that's a quote from Renelle Madrano, a photographer. Our first recipient is a recent graduate from Macaulay Honors College at the College of Staten Island. With degrees in political science and international studies, she started her career as a student organizer at Peace Action New York State. After that, she joined United Activities Unlimited as a prevention aide focusing on social emotional learning for youth. She currently is a deputy field director at the New York State Democratic Party and continues to work to organize on Staten Island. We'd love to give you this certificate, which says, for her outstanding work as a Peace Action student organizer and for her continuing activism for the benefit of the Staten Island community, it's my pleasure to give this award to Rebecca Del Vecchio.
Thank you guys very much for your kind words and for this. It's really such a full circle moment. I mean, seeing Sally, and I think that's David over there as well. And, you know, Emily Rubino and everyone else at Peace Action, who's been so amazing. Being a student organizer for Peace Action was an extremely empowering experience for me. I mean, if there are any students on here who are looking to be more involved in the community and don't know really where to start, definitely starting a chapter at your school is the way to go. It just gave me a platform to focus on issues, you know, important to me, and Sally and Emily just gave me space to focus on, you know, any issue, and we're always there to talk things through. And I would say the main obstacle to, you know, people organizing in their communities is, you know, people not being able to afford to, you know, quit their day job to, you know, go focus on these other issues that are really important to them, or, you know, if people are in school and have to, you know, work a job to support themselves. So that Peace Action has a program that empowers students, gives them the tools that they need, and then also pays them to do the work at a young age, just when they're starting, is really incredible. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do the work at UAU and other political campaigns on the island without it. You know, of course, we still have a lot of work to do on Staten Island to continue to organize, but I'm confident, you know, that with this group of people, we'll be able to continue that work towards peace and continue to grow together to not only better the world, but, you know, better our own backyard. So thank you guys so much for this.
Thank you, Rebecca. In addition, all of our honorees, except of course, Councilwoman Debbie Rose, will receive an additional certificate from Councilwoman Debbie Rose, acknowledging your award from Peace Action and the work that you've done. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Corinthians, chapter 13, verses 4 through 8 says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And I think those words encapsulate our next honoree. She has been at the helm of Project Hospitality since 1985, first serving as the executive director and currently as president and CEO. A Reformed Church in America minister and missionary, she also is the pastor of the Reformed Church of Huguenot Park in Staten Island. She currently serves on the Governor's Interfaith Clergy Council, the Mayor's Clergy Council, the Mayor's Council for Nonprofits and Human Services Organization, the Staten Island Disparity Project, and the Equity Alliance of Staten Island. I'm tired just reading this, right? She is the chair of Tackling Youth Substance Abuse Initiative of Staten Island Partnership for Community Wellness. She serves on the board of directors of the Supportive Housing Network of New York, Homeless Services United, Coordinated Behavioral Care, El Centro de Emigrante, a local day labor organization, the Staten Island Immigrants Council, Communities United for Respect and Trust, the Staten Island Family Healthcare Coalition, and the Staten Island Interreligious Leadership. the network of local religious leaders committed to upholding the biblical charism of hospitality and social, racial, and economic justice. She is an adult member of the Eye Openers Youth Against Violence and the Staten Island Immigrant Youth Leadership. She has served on several city and statewide boards, including the New York City Commission on Economic Opportunity, the New York City Commission on AIDS, the New York City Temporary Commission on Day Laborer Job Sites, the New York City Committee to End Homelessness, the New York City Task Force for Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Questioning Runaway and Homeless Youth, New York City Interagency Task Force on Youth Violence, and the New York City HIV Housing Work Group. Currently, she serves on the Mayor's Clergy Advisory Council, the NYPD Training Advisory Committee, the New York City Council Gun Violence Task Force, the New York State Interfaith Immigration Network, and the New York City Supportive Housing Task Force. She was named a New York City Commissioner of Human Rights by Mayor Bill de Blasio in 2019. She's a native Staten Islander and lives in New Brighton. She lives with her cat, Irania, and her tortoise, Henry Houdini, who, if you haven't seen, is quite a large tortoise. It is my pleasure to present this award to Reverend Terry Troia for a lifetime of serving the poor, the homeless, and underserved, and for bringing communities together to foster trust and respect. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for this great honor, and thank you for putting my name next to the names of Councilwoman Debbie Rose, Imam Tahir Kukiqi, and Rebecca Del Vecchio. I want to give my deepest thanks to Eileen Bardell, which, in addition to chasing after me for a check to be cashed, which tested the greatest of her forbearance and the deepest quality of her patience in the last 9 months, I honor and thank Eileen for her dedication and compassion as a healthcare worker at Clove Lakes Nursing Home, and to say thank you for the great kindnesses and generosity and love that she gave to my mother when my mom was there some time ago. And to Sally Jones, who I admire from afar, who I remember when this organization first started, and to say to her, I wish I could be as courageous in action as you are by your very presence. You know, the truth is that this award, I think, means more to me than 1,000 other certificates. I recently got an award from a realtor organization on Staten Island, and after, I never expected I'd get an award from a realtor association. Let's be clear about that. But afterwards, somebody came up to me as I was leaving the building and said, "Do you have the governor's ear?" And I thought, oh yeah, right in my pocket. I said, "No, but if I did, what would you want me to say?" And he said, "Tell him we got to start the evictions or we're not going to make any money. We're all dying out here." And where are these people going to go? And he said, "How should I know?"
Oh.
And I wanted to say, well, you should know. We all should know. Quarantine isn't just about staying inside your house. It's having a house to stay inside of. It's I get a lot of positives every day. Last week, a person called me who had 3 homeless people sleeping underneath their building in Tompkinsville, St. George. And they asked me to move them. And a lot of times people call and say, could you move this person? Could you move this person? I feel like a moving association. I feel like it should say Project Hospitality Movers. We relocate homeless people. One person even said, I'll give that person a reclining chair across the street if you could just move her. Serious. I'm serious. But it turned out that we started this little shelter in Stapleton UAME Church, and with undocumented immigrants. And on October 31st, the last of the first crew of people who stayed in that shelter from January to October moved out and had his apartment November 1st. So I actually had 3 beds empty. And so I went that last Friday night, and the 3 homeless people were fast asleep underneath the building. So I came back Saturday morning at 4 a.m. and I camped out in the van waiting for them to wake up. And when they woke up, I went over to them and I said, I got these 3 beds in Stapleton, and I'd like for you to come and see it tonight. And if you're comfortable, to come and stay. And if you're not, I'll drive you back. So I came at 8 o'clock, 10 after 8, because I was waiting for the Biden speech Saturday night, which I never got to hear, right? But anyway, as I was getting there, I got a phone call from a guy, and in broken English, he said to me, "We're all waiting for you." And I said, "What do you mean we're all waiting for me?" And he said, "We got 8 people here waiting for a shelter bed." And I said, no, you don't understand. I only got 3 beds. But I was amazed that the word had spread through the homeless community that I had beds. And by the time I got there, the people were walking away really dejected that I had only beds sufficient for 3 people. And those folks came and they stayed that night at Stapleton UAME Church. Thank you, Reverend Maggie Howard. And that feels good, right? That felt great. And then this morning they got their first shower in, I don't know, God knows how long. And I went out and bought them underwear yesterday. I don't ever remember having to buy men's underwear, but I did that last night. That felt good. And getting them into the shower, that felt great. And giving them clean underwear, that also felt good. I get to feel that every day. And I do these things. People say, "Why are you doing this?" I do this I really do this to keep me motivated. But I say it because I get off easy. When you have international peace as the agenda of your organization, buying underwear doesn't cut it, or laying somebody down on a cot. And the commitment that is long bearing in the quest for peace that is rooted in justice, a peace that most of us will not live to see, that is courageous. That is prophetic. Not what I do, really and truly. And that's why I so honor this organization, Peace Action of Staten Island, and Peace Action of New York State, and everyone who is committed to world peace. Because the vision and breadth of humanity has to be so great that we can place ourselves in the suffering of people that are thousands of miles away, in places we have never been, in faces we have never seen, in lives we have never lived, and in sorrow we have never suffered. And that takes a deeply moral imagination that stirs from the very depths of our hearts. And that is a lot more difficult than a shelter bed or a bowl of soup. That's why this means so much. I think it's really interesting that you started with 1 Corinthians 13, because I actually also chose verses of love to end with. And it's these verses from a theologian and writer who's 94 years old and lives upstate and is still breathing. His name is the Reverend Fred Buechner. And this was originally published in his book, The Magnificent Defeat. He writes, "The love for equals is a human thing, of friend for friend, brother for brother. It is to love what is loving and lovely, and upon it the world smiles. The love for the less fortunate is a beautiful thing. The love for those who suffer, for those who are poor, for those who are ill, for those who have failed, for the unlovely. This is compassion, and it touches the heart of the world. The love for the more fortunate is a rare thing. To love those who succeed where we fail, to rejoice without envy with those who rejoice. The love of the poor for the rich, of the Black person for the white person. The world is always bewildered by its saints. And then there is the love for the enemy. Love for the one who does not love you, but who mocks, threatens, and inflicts pain. The tortured's love for the torturer. This is God's love. It conquers the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. All right. How am I supposed to follow that? Sally, are we going to do a slide presentation now, or
Yeah.
that's on the agenda?
Just a second. We'll fix it up.
Okay. So
Harry.
the good that Peace Action does is in large part a result of our members and our donors. Sally Jones has prepared a virtual journal for us this year. All righty.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, usually we call this Make Food Not War, and we usually are able to have a wonderful meal together. But today we're going to have some special guests instead. Diwali, one of the most important festivals in India, began this past Thursday. The festival symbolizes new beginnings and the triumph of good over evil and light over darkness. Today is Children's Day in India, and we have some special children and their instructors to help us virtually make food not war this year. Kamala Anantharam, an investment professional, and Vanita Yogeshwar, a professional in the healthcare industry, together have been involved in the religious and cultural activities at the Staten Island Hindu temple for a number of years. They have been teachers of Hindu spiritual and cultural education through the Purna Vidya classes, which teaches young students the richness of the Hindu and Vedic culture. They have been conducting these classes at the Staten Island Hindu Temple for over 15 years and organizing events, plays, and other activities to encourage spiritual and cultural awareness in the Indian community. Some of their students will present the following recipes, which you saw on the slideshow, for mango lassi, protein lattice, and fruity oats, all with a view to healthy eating and happy living. Welcome, our guests cooking today for us.
Harry, it's Kamala. Can you pass it on to me? Harry, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yes.
Great. So let me just wish everybody a very, very happy Diwali from me. The children of Purna Vidya, say hello to all the members here. And nobody could have put it better than Reverend Troia just did about peace in the world. It's so important. So may I just spend 1 minute saying a peace prayer that's over 4,000 years old. Seems like the quest for peace has always existed in this world. If 4,000 years ago man sought peace, we should be seeking it ever more now. And we thought things were a lot better thousands of years ago. So the prayer is in Sanskrit, and I will translate it for you as soon as I'm done with it. It starts like this. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyid Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It literally translates to, let there be peace in this entire world, not just for me, but for the world. Let the saints and holy men be able to preach in peace and spread their good word. Let there be good health and wealth, and let there be no problems, man-made or otherwise. Peace, peace, peace. Today is also the birthday of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister of independent India. He loved children and he always saw them as the future. So today the app topic, make food, not war. I have children here who are going to present the various recipes, and you're going to enjoy making it. Some of them have more known ingredients. The other one, you may have to go to a specialty store to pick it up, but there's plenty of Asian groceries on Staten Island and you can make a quick trip. And we have also published it for you, and Carrie will show you where to share it. So we want to start with, is Krishna Yogeshwar on? Vanita Yogeshwar, say hello and present the first recipe. Is Krishna on, or will you give the introduction?
I'll be giving the introduction. Happy Diwali, everybody. It is India's highest festival, akin to Christmas in the rest of the Western world. And it is a festival of lights and also celebration. We usually give out sweets to children and to everyone in the family and to friends. But we are going to show you some sweets that are made in India virtually, and I hope you enjoy it. Food brings cultures together. Where we can fail with conversation, we can always make up with food. And we hope that our little chefs will be able to impress you with the way they have actually walked us through the steps of these ingredients and the preparation. I, being a former chef myself, was very impressed with it. So with no further ado, let me introduce you, starting from our smallest chef to our teenage chef. The first video you're going to see is from Akanksha, and she's demonstrating how to make fruit custard. It was not on the initial target, but she managed to squeeze it in. I'm going to share my screen, and this is going to be a 12-minute video with 4 segments of 4 delicious and nutritious recipes. Be prepared. Terry, can I have the share screen feature turned on?
Sally, that has to
Yes,
be.
yes, I'll do that right away.
Sally,
Sorry about
Sally's
that.
our technology person today.
Yeah.
So hopefully everyone enjoys these videos. We tried to make them for you.
Let me know when we are ready to share screen. I'll share screen.
Try it now.
Here we go. Can everyone see?
No?
No.
Now let me start it again.
We can hear it, but we can't see it.
Share screen, screen 2.
Do you have the proper authority? No.
No, still can't see.
Where are you trying to share it from, Vanita?
I am sharing it from my screen. Let me try another way to share this. Give me 1 second.
So in the meantime, who are we starting with? With Akansha. Akansha, do you just want to tell anyone why you wanted to make custard? Why did you want to make custard? Say Happy Diwali to everybody and say why you wanted to make custard.
Well, it's so yummy.
And Mridini, what did you want to make for everybody?
Laddu.
Laddus. Can you talk a little bit about why laddus are good for everybody?
This is actually also known as sunanda, and it is really like nutritious and has a lot of protein inside it.
Vanita, we're not
It's
able
very
to
tasty
see
as
it.
well.
Can you see it now?
No, we still can't.
No.
So Mohan, anyway, we can send it
No,
to you.
I think you have to click on the bottom. You see a click, or did you click on the share?
I
Right
did.
in the bottom.
Screen.
I did. I'm able to see.
You
the-
have to first highlight it, whatever you want to show, highlight it, and then click down below. You have to click the share button. Just click on it, whatever you want to do, highlight it, select it, and then click the share in the bottom.
We actually tested it out and it worked okay.
You know, Sally, we should have tested it yesterday.
We did.
Yeah. Let's, you tested it, Vanita?
Yeah, it worked, yes.
I am trying to, I'll do it again. Let's hope we can share it now.
Sorry, everyone. Thanks for your patience.
Can you see my screen at all?
No, we cannot. We cannot see your screen at all.
You know, Vanita, I'm going to send you my email and you can, if you can, send me, and then we'll come back to you.
These are
Yeah.
huge files. They don't transmit through emails.
Oh, okay.
Let me try another video. Maybe there is a corruption in that video. I'm going to try sharing this one.
Yeah, it worked good yesterday.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're all getting good at Zoom, aren't we? We're learning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
yes,
worked.
it worked.
That worked.
Yes.
Which one are we watching?
Indian grocery store.
Okay, great. So let me start it from the beginning.
Hi everyone, happy Diwali. Today we're going to be making mango lassi. You've probably seen or had mango lassi in any Indian restaurant. As you can see, the ingredients are here: plain yogurt and mango pulp in equal parts.
Can you?
Mango pulp at any Indian grocery store, they usually come in tins. You're going to need 2 glasses and finally a cup of ice. Oh, and also don't forget, you're going to need a blender for this.
Mango pulp, plain yogurt, ice, and a blender.
Let's get started. First, you're going to want to put your ice in. It's always good to have one of these, just get all the excess yogurt out. You don't have to be perfect. And finally, we're going to put our mango pulp in.
Hello? Oh, you don't say anything.
Don't say nothing.
No, just
I
go on.
think what's happened is because of yesterday when you tried, there was just Sally and Vanita. Now the bandwidth is just not enough to play videos. It's breaking apart. That's what's happened.
It's working well. We can see fine.
Okay.
Take the lid off. Oh, it just smells amazing. Now you're gonna want to need 2 big glasses. We clearly made a full bunch, so you're gonna want these tall glasses. We have these fun straws, but you don't need them. So just pour them in. Oh my God, it looks so good. All right, let's taste it. Oh, so good, amazing. I would definitely recommend this recipe to anyone. So good. Cheers.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello everyone, my name is Debi. I'm going to be showing you how to make a protein liquid. So let's get started. The ingredients required to make this recipe is 1 cup of black graham, 1 cup of split urad dal, 1/4 cup of split dal, 1/4 cup of coconut sugar powder or sugar, 4 pieces of green cardamom, and 1/4 cup of. Right, let's get started. So I've roasted all these lentils and it has to turn into this light brown color. And you can smell a beautiful aroma too. So then grab the roasted lentil. Turn that into a powder. Now a little bit of grinded powder into this plate. And 1 teaspoon of 1 teaspoon. Now I'm going to make these into balls. I already washed my hands, so let's get started. I rounded all these balls, of course with the help of my parents. And places to go like that. And now, I'm going to get my brain, my awesome, my taster! Mommy! Okay, we're gonna go back there now. Mission accomplished. This small consists of all nutrients and vitamins. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you liked it.
The third recipe is for
Sally.
Hello, my name is Sid Gupta. Happy Diwali. Today we're going to make banana oatmeal. So first, let's talk about the ingredients. So we have blueberries, vanilla extract, oats, milk, unsweetened cocoa powder, maple syrup, and banana. Now let's talk about the utensils. We have
Can't see anything.
measuring spoons, a stirring.
Yeah,
Not-
we can't see the
yeah,
video.
there's
We're
no
having
sharing.
a little problem with the video. Sorry about that, everyone.
Hey, Selena.
Okay.
Can you just walk us through it, even though your video is not working? Are you on, Sid? Sid Gupta? Can you go on video and just explain to somebody how to make it since you put so much time into it? Yeah, just tell everyone how you made the dish.
Hello, my name is Sid Gupta. I'm 11 years old. So in the video I was making banana oatmeal. So do I walk
Just say it. Explain as though you're explaining to a friend.
So first I put the milk with the oats. First I put the milk with the oats and then I just let it sit for 10 seconds. After that, I put cocoa powder and vanilla extract. I let it sit for 45 seconds and let it bubble a teeny bit. And then after that, I added some mashed and cut banana. and I served it, and I put maple syrup and blueberries as a topping.
Hello, my name is Sid Gupta. Happy Diwali. Today we're gonna make banana oatmeal.
Vanita, Sid just walked us through it already. So we're done with the banana pancakes. Thank you very much, Sid. Can I have the children wish everybody a happy Diwali now? All the Purna Vidya children, can you wish everyone a happy Diwali together on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Happy Diwali, everyone.
Happy Diwali.
Thank you, everyone. Next time we'll work harder on our videos.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
They
And
were wonderful.
yeah, and the
Thank
recipes
you.
are all available. So they all look delicious and healthy. So I'm sure we're all gonna look forward to making these in the future. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, excellent. Yay!
Great job. Great job. We appreciate the effort. So now we're on to part 2 of our awards ceremony. The Quran says, Allah is with those who do good. And our next recipient is the Vice President, Imam, and teacher at the Albanian Islamic Cultural Center since 2014. He has received a PhD at the Graduate Theological Foundation in Indiana, as well as a PhD in Islamic philosophy in 2002, a master's in Islamic philosophy, a postgraduate studies in comparative religion and philosophy, and a BA in faith and philosophy. On June 2014, he was sworn in as the NYPD Muslim chaplain. He has worked closely with the NYPD for many years as a liaison for Muslim community outreach programs in Staten Island and New York regarding educational, religious, and sporting events. In addition, he has been and currently is involved in Clergy Leaders of Staten Island and the Clergy Advisory Council for New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. He's the New York City Commission of Religious Leaders and Interfaith Advisory Clergy Group. And he's also involved in the annual Thanksgiving dinner that rotates in different houses of worship from church to synagogue to mosque to Hindu and Buddhist temples. He has received numerous awards and recognitions from various elected officials and organizations in Staten Island, New York City, and New York State. Among them are awards from Governor Andrew Cuomo, Mayor Bill de Blasio, Congressman Dan Donovan, State Senator Diane Savino, State Senator Andrew Lanza, Assemblyman Mike Kukiqi, Assemblyman Charles Fall, City Councilmember Debi Rose, Staten Island Borough President James Otto, Wagner College, District Attorney Michael McMahon, Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz, Empowering Staten Island, and Empowering Voices 2020 for his dynamic leadership role in bringing together people of different beliefs and backgrounds in order to spread peace, justice, and knowledge. It is my privilege and honor to present this award to Imam Dr. Tahir Kukiqi.
Thank you, thank you. Congratulations to all honorees tonight. I'm honored to receive this award. Actually, this is so far is going to be the very special one for so many reasons. But tonight I received this award with my 2 sons and my daughter-in-law and my grandson Benjamin. And hopefully you've seen him in his eyes and his face is lightning. He's going to be, this is my grandson Benjamin. These are in French, Bobby, smiling.
Oh, he's so cute.
I was the other day at the front stairs at Borough Hall. You know, we've been protesting, supporting, raising our voices along with Troia and the Honorable Debi Rose and so many other friends and colleagues that we have here in Staten Island. And for me, this borough is God's heaven on earth. I wouldn't like to live nowhere else but in Staten Island. So one of the speakers, I believe, was Reverend from the Mount Sinai Church, the deputy of our Bishop Brown. I can't remember his name. He said that peace is it's not a status, it's rather an action. So was so good that this organization has been named Peace Action. In fact, peace is an action. It's not a word, it's not a status quo, as I mentioned. So being honored by this great organization, a great friend like Sally Jones, we go way back. Since I came here in Staten Island, and of course, my dear friend and colleague and role model, Terry Troia. It's an honor to be by her, next to her, and City Council Debi Rose. You know, in our, and before I go further, I wanted to also wish happy and blessed Diwali, feast of light to our Hindus and Sikhs and whoever celebrates it. It is such a meaningful festivity and a celebration. God bless you. We Muslims, we start our day with exactly the word salam, which means peace. Our greetings is peace. And we end our day, when we go to bed, also we say salam, which is peace. I don't know how much we work for that, but religiously, we are probably the most speaking for peace are Muslims, because we cannot say greetings unless we start Assalamu alaikum. This is our greetings, but also it's a form of prayer. As I said, I wish that we Muslims, alongside with others, do more of action of peace rather than just words. I hope and pray that this organization continues to find more supporters as you're doing God's job, mission, offering support, offering voice to those who are voiceless, and making them people feel that there is somebody who takes care of them, who cares for them. Yes, our city and our country and the world needs peace, but peace does not come just merely with some nice lectures and bombastic words, rather than actions like Terry Troia, she mentioned, sacrificing your own time and your own, comfort zone and going out and helping people and making, their lives much easier. The other night, I was home. I received a call from a person says there is a sister in the street. She didn't eat. She is abandoned. Would you please, Imam, go take her and offer her a hotel somewhere? There is a reservation for her. So I went. I took my son Adam, and it was cold. It was last winter. My son, 13 years old then, we saw a sister, God bless. She needed so many people to help her even walk. When we took her to the hotel, I called Reverend Troia, nobody but her. Said, listen, I need a reservation. There is no reservation here. They are not taking her. So I spent good 3-4 hours moving with that lady in Staten to try to find a place to give her comfort and so she can stay and take bath and gets her life in order. That night, nobody was there to help me except for a wonderful Troia. Yeah, you want to make changes, you have to sacrifice. You have to be ready to get out of the comfort zone. You're going to meet people, you're going to meet circumstances, cases that it's not easy to accept it. But if you want to make peace, you want to make changes, you want to make impact on people, then you have to sacrifice, as I said, your time, your effort, and your most important, probably, the comfort zone. God bless you all. I'm so deeply honored to be among the honorees. And once again, God bless you all. My family here, my sons and my daughter, and my angel Benjamin is saying hello and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And this is the, I don't know if you guys see it or not.
No, can't see.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We can see it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone, as I mentioned, has received a certificate from Peace Action. In addition, they get a certificate from Debbie Rose, and I've just been noticing on the chats that Public Administrator Edwina Martin will also be recognizing all of the recipients. So thank you.
Thank you,
everyone. Nelson Mandela said, "It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate a victory, when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger, then people will appreciate your leadership." Our next recipient and our final recipient is a second-generation Staten Island native and the first African-American from Staten Island elected to any public office. She won the race for the 49th Council District seat in 2009 by a 32-point margin and was reelected by similar margins in 2013 and 2017. Subsequent to her November 2017 reelection, she was appointed Deputy Majority Leader and Chair of the City Council's Committee on Youth Services. In addition, she sits on the Aging, Education, Justice System, Resiliency, and Waterfronts Rules, Privilege, and Elections and Transportation Committees, as well as the Council's Budget Negotiating Team. As chair of the Youth Services Committee, she led the successful fight to restore summer youth programs in the city budget and expand the summer youth employment program to include slots for 70,000 young New Yorkers. She has secured millions of dollars in public investments in the North Shore during her years in office, leading to a renaissance on the North Shore. In June 2019, she negotiated a rezoning of the Bay Street corridor that secured more than $250 million in public investments, including $92 million to rebuild the Cromwell Recreation Center, a waterfront park in Stapleton, and a waterfront esplanade in Tompkinsville. The rezoning paves the way for housing affordable to residents at all income levels, as well as for seniors and additional infrastructure improvements. In addition, she has worked to create thousands of jobs, build and renovate nearly a dozen parks, expand waterfront access, and increase student capacity in North Shore public schools by more than 1,200 seats. She successfully advocated for the relocation of the Jersey Street Sanitation Garage, which will open up New Brighton to a new era of economic revitalization. She spearheaded the effort to secure more than $30 million to build a new state-of-the-art emergency facility at Richmond University Medical Center, and have allocated more than $16 million in technology and other capital improvements to our schools. She spearheaded the construction of the North Shore's first newly built elementary school in more than a generation at 357 Targey Street in Stapleton. Prior to being elected to the City Council, she worked as the Executive Director of the Liberty Partnership Program at the College of Staten Island, a state-funded dropout prevention program. Under her guidance, more than 4,000 at-risk high school students achieved a 92% graduation rate through special counseling, tutoring, and mentoring. She also served on the Community Board for 28 years and the Community School Board for 13 years. For representing all of her constituents on the New York City Council so faithfully and fairly since 2010, and especially for bringing the attention to the needs of the youth and the underserved in her district, it is our honor to present our Peacemakers Award to Councilwoman Debi Rose. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's fine that you call me councilman. Most people have called me councilman for my whole term, or congressman. So I'm honored anyway that you put it. I want to say good afternoon to
That's your next step, Congresswoman. Right?
Thank you, Imam. Thank you.
You have to. We have to win this borough again.
Thank you so much. We'll have to have a conversation about that.
Spoken.
I want to say good afternoon and to Peace Action of Staten Island. I am both humbled and honored to be a recipient of this most prestigious and meaningful award. You know, as the councilwoman, you get a lot of awards and people recognize you, and for various reasons. I am really moved that Peace Action has identified me as a peacemaker and someone who they think is worthy of this honor. It is the most meaningful because I know from whence this comes, you know, and the people who are behind it. So when I say meaningful award, that is heartfelt. This is a most meaningful award for me. I want to thank Eileen Bardell, the president of Peace Action. She's been very patient and tenacious in tracking folks down and getting them to respond. So I'm very thankful. And I want to thank the Make Food Not War committee. You know, I want to thank you for deeming me just worthy of a Peacemakers Award. It's especially meaningful to me since I have been privy to the genesis of this great organization. And I have watched it grow to be an influential voice in the dialogues of peace and social justice, standing on the forefronts, unfettered to promote, protect, and progress all elements of the peace movement, while recognizing the global ramifications of their actions. I want to thank Jack Bolenbach for finding my house all the way out here in the boondocks and delivering my beautiful award to me also. I want to thank David and Sally Jones for introducing and tethering me to the peace movement and Peace Action Staten Island at its inception. Their commitment to this organization, the goals and overarching principles for the proliferation of peaceful coexistence, the illumination and amplification of social justice issues is unmatched in anybody, any couple, any organization here on Staten Island. And we are all better for Sally and David's, commitment and influence in this organization. I just want to applaud you. I want to also applaud Peace Action of Staten Island for being at the forefront of issues and being our moral conscience. I want to thank you to all of the members of Peace Action for remaining laser focused and demanding accountability in these times of smoke and mirrors, obfuscation, and I'll let you finish it. As an elected official, I learned very early on that the toughest part of my job was going to be trying to make everyone happy, especially within the limitations of government and the challenges and artificial barriers that were placed because of me being the first ever elected person and Black woman of color elected to public office here on Staten Island. And being able to meet and manage the expectations of the members in this community on the North Shore, those expectations, both good and bad. I had to walk a tightrope that no one before me had to. I had to prove myself before I even got into my office. But I knew that was to be my plight, that I would have to prove that I was the councilwoman for all of us. And that being a second generation Staten Islander, that I knew and shared their concerns. And hence my campaign slogan was working for all of us. That was something that was really challenging here on Staten Island because it was something that hadn't been done before. People had functioned in silos. People had represented whatever interest groups they felt closely related to. And I felt that it was time that we represented everybody, regardless of their economic status, disregarding their color, race, religion, or what neighborhood they worked in. And so I really was dedicated to making sure that everybody's voice was heard. So it is so gratifying to receive validation that my efforts to officiate in a fair and just manner was realized and acknowledged. And I thank Peace Action for doing that. I truly love the North Shore, and I wanted to make it a better place to live for all of us. All of the different communities and neighborhoods, including those that were under-resourced and marginalized communities. My position as Deputy Majority Leader gave me the opportunity to bring those resources that were needed to the North Shore that we would otherwise not have gotten, including over $30 million of funding for Richmond University Medical Center's emergency room. Having spent my entire career in youth development, I am really ecstatic to be the prime advocate for our youth as the chair of the Youth Services Committee of the City Council. And I have taken that fight many times to City Hall. And I'm really proud to say we emerged victorious. There are people on this call who knows that we saw during the budget negotiations where administration thought that our young people were collateral damage. And it was just, we had to accept that. We did not accept that. And we proved to them that our young people truly are our future, and it's not some cliched slogan. I want to acknowledge that I would not be the person that I am if not for my strong, proud grandparents who fought and struggled tenaciously to open a business here in the North Shore, despite the blatant racism that they encountered. And they were able to build a viable and successful business. I inherited from them the tenacity, to stand up in light of adversity and opposition. And I want to thank my parents who instilled in my sister and I the value of respecting and recognizing the humanity in everyone and the importance to giving back to the community. My mother believed, and she talked to us all the time about, to whom much is given, much is required. And so I want to congratulate my fellow honorees. I am really honored to be in the class with them. I can't hold a candle to the things that they have done in terms of improving the life of individuals that live here in Staten Island in the North Shore, who have been so underrepresented and so mistreated and not, not having their humanity recognized. And so I'm really honored to be in this class of honorees. I want to also, I want you to know that receiving this award from my most highly respected peers and friends, I want to thank you so much for this award and validation of my efforts to improve the quality of life for all of us. There's 3 words that, really is a message that I want to leave when I leave public office. And I wanted to resonate with my constituents in the North Shore. I love you. I love you, and I wanted to make sure that your lives were better for me having been around. And I just want to leave you with the words of John Lewis, because during in August we saw an uptick in violence in our communities, and we vowed as a community, as groups, organizations, clergy, that we were going to make good trouble, and that we were going to make good trouble to effectuate change. We saw our young people take the reins and stand up against social injustice and racial bias, and so we just wanted to make sure that we contributed to that effort. And we had 7 days of marches, good trouble marches, to address the violence that we saw in our communities. And out of that came a group, we call it the Good Trouble Collective. And I want to thank those who are on this Zoom who participated. All of you made such great contributions to furthering, our efforts at peace and anti-gun violence. And so I want to leave you with the words of John Lewis. And he said, "It is not enough to say it will get better by and by. Each of us have a moral obligation to stand up, speak out. When you see something that is not right, you must say something. You must do something. Democracy is not a state, it is an act. And each generation must do its part to help build it, to build what we call the beloved community, a nation and a world society at peace with itself. We must get in good trouble, necessary trouble." And so I want to thank Peace Action for getting in good trouble, necessary trouble, for being out there on the front line and in the trenches, and to my fellow honorees for continuing the good work that we need. And I just want to say, I accept this award in honor of Manny Braxton for his tenacity and his love of life. And I want to thank you also for the beautiful flowers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Sally, do we have another presentation or you just have that same presentation?
There is a short presentation now.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sally.
We can find it.
Councilmember Rose didn't give me an award?
No.
No, I didn't get a certificate from her? I'm only kidding.
But you're getting one from Winnie.
Okay, that's better.
Yes, you'll get one from Winnie, Councilmember, not from your office.
Okay.
We're just showing the next event coming up.
Okay. Yeah. So as everybody has said, we are a group of action, and this will be our next action. So if you up at 2 p.m., there will be a virtual discussion on what's next for Peace Action's core issues, which are war, nuclear weapons, military spending, sanctions, as we head into the new year with the new Biden administration. So you can join John Rainwater, who is the Executive Director of Peace Action and the Peace Action Education Fund, and join that discussion. Do we have a virtual link for that, Sally?
Not yet.
Okay.
How are we doing?
Great. So anybody that's here, we will send you that link when it becomes available. Okay, so put that on your calendar, please. Next, we have a very special award to somebody who's been very special to Peace Action Staten Island. Sylvia Zog and her artist husband, Herman, were two of the earliest members of Peace Action Staten Island, joining in 2002. This was when it was not popular to be an anti-war activist on Staten Island. Sylvia became Peace Action Staten Island's membership coordinator in 2006 and has maintained the now more than 3,000 contacts we have collected over the last 18 years. Peace Action Staten Island, though, is just one part of her activist life. Sylvia Zog did not wait long after moving to Staten Island in 1952, before she became a member of the League of Women Voters and got involved in voter education. That service not being enough to use all her volunteer energy, Sylvia was soon volunteering to make music with children at the Unitarian Church. Her experience with children continued when she became a Brownie Scout leader. A civil rights advocate, Sylvia became involved with CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality, and was soon marching and protesting. Those marches and protests continued with anti-war marches locally and in Washington, D.C., with Staten Islanders against nuclear weapons. Her anti-war stance has continued over the years, and she has served on the membership committee of the Staten Island Peace Movement. She has been a campaign volunteer on behalf of progressive leaders and worked on a volunteer basis on President Obama's campaign. Her eclectic skills and interests have seen her in a large variety of volunteer positions. She was also membership secretary for almost 3 decades for Protectors of Pine Oak Woods. She was a yoga instructor for over 25 years. She served as a rape victims advocate, as well as computer teacher for seniors at the Jewish Community Center's Senior Net. Sylvia, in reflecting on her volunteer career, sums it up this way: knowing and working with people who are the movers and shakers of our community has enriched and given meaning to my life. And Sylvia has definitely enriched Peace Action Staten Island for these many years. And so
thank you so much.
Great honor to honor her today for all that work.
Unfortunately, I'm third of the way through the program, so that I kept guessing at most of what people were saying. But since I've been, with this organization for such a long time, I can pretty much put it all together. And I thank you so much for the plaque that was delivered to me and the wonderful, beautiful flowers, which look just as beautiful as the others that were held up for you to see. So I'm not going to run into the kitchen to get them now, but they're beautiful. I really, was there something else? Sally, did you want me to say anything else?
Well, we could say a lot.
But
we love you, Sylvia. Thank you for many years of doing, keeping us together.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
The love is reciprocated, I tell you.
Thank you.
You people are the target of peace. I learned something. I know you'll keep on fighting. There's so much going on, and we really need you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you so much. All right, and Sylvia has, sorry. Sylvia mentioned about fighting on, and our next group is very much focused on continuing what we have started. When we were discussing this meeting, Rante said something that I found very, very poignant. And what he said was that the leaders, the elders, need to walk side by side with the young to serve as a bridge. And these next people, the young leaders of Staten Island, are definitely worth supporting in all their efforts. One of the things that we need to remember is that the power of the people is greater than the power of the people who are in power. That, you know, we the people, that's what we're founded on. And we the people have power. And so today we have 4 representatives from the young leaders of Staten Island. Kevin Walton is 24 years old, born and raised in Staten Island, and he feels blessed and honored to be able to serve the community, especially the very community that he comes from. We have Isaiah Bufam, 21 years old, raised on the North Shore of Staten Island, and he's here to create change in his community. Cabrielle Cabral McShine is 25 years old and was born and raised in Staten Island. He joined the Young Leaders of Staten Island because he wanted to do something to help his community that would create lasting change. And we have William Bailey, a 25 years young, raised on Staten Island, and he joined the Young Leaders to fight for equality and bring change to his community. And so they have a couple of videos that they'd like to share with us now. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for having us. We are blessed and honored to be here today, especially being honored and invited by such a group as the Peace Action of Staten Island. Just your mission and the vision that you have for peace, not just here on Staten Island, not just here in America, but globally, is something to be esteemed. And we appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time. Without moving forward, though, I would be besides myself before I would start without honoring our mentor, Ranti Agunale. Without Ranti, we would not be young leaders of Staten Island. We would still be leaders, but we would not be the young leaders of Staten Island. We would not be able to do the very things that we are trying to do alongside the help of so many others, and so many community members and organizers. But again, without him, his stewardship, his mentorship, his honest, genuine love for the community as well as young people has just stood out. It just honestly has stood out and affected us in a great way. So I just wanted to start off by saying that, because without him, we wouldn't be who we are. So I just want to say thank you to him. Moving forward with our presentation, and to everyone who has helped us. So again, the young leaders of Staten Island, our motto and our vision here is one together, all together. This is a mission that all the members of the young leaders of Staten Island have agreed upon, to be the stakeholder of what we want to be. One together, all together is not just North Shore, it's not just one race of people or a dialect, but all languages coming from all different cultures, coming from all different types of people. We want to form a Staten Island that represents that, a one together, all together mentality, and that's what we plan to fight for. The founders of the Young Leaders of Staten Island are Isaiah Bufong, William Bailey, Charles Harris, Shay Clark, Kevin Walton, myself, Glory Walton, my sister, Xavier Charles, Tajik, and Michael Anamodi. And our newest member, which is Caprielle Cabral McShine. She is a wonderful person that we have newly added to the team, and she brings so many astounding gifts. Individually, we are just North Shore youth residents who work hard to better the lives of ourselves and our communities and families. But collectively, we are the young leaders of Staten Island. And again, our mission is to bring equality and unity by fighting injustice, educating the youth, and working closely with the communities of Staten Island. After the tragic murder and loss of George Floyd in late May, protests broke out all over the country. Many of these protests across the country turned violent, but Staten Island stood peaceful despite the racial tension on Staten Island and in the country abroad. This in part to countless of community members, organizers, leaders, and also the NYPD. The march that we conducted wouldn't have been possible without the support of our mentor again, Rantia Gunale. Rantia has stood alongside us from the very beginning, and none of what we did in the last 6 months could have been possible without him. On the left side of the screen, you see our first flyer for the Young Leaders of Staten Island protest. This was the first protest where we organized around police brutality, of course, after the death and murder of George Floyd. And again, as you can see, we wanted to align ourselves with peace. So again, as you can see, we said keeping the peace with an exclamation mark. We wanted to make sure that this march was peaceful so that families can come out, different members of the community that aren't usually represented can come out and feel a part of creating change. And I just wanted to read this quote because I did enjoy so many of the quotes that was spoken through the honorees. And this quote is from the one and only Dr. King, which says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And I just want to stress that again, we are just young people who felt the need to not be silent about this matter. We are a bunch of 20-year-olds who are basically grew up in a different time, in a different era, in a technology era, in times of war, and in times of peace, in times of tranquility, and in times of turmoil. And we have experienced a lot of things in our short timeline. So we felt that enough was enough and we could no longer be silent. And we just wanted to honor Dr. King and everything he's done. Our protest again was to the 122 precinct. Demonstrators held signs to bring awareness to police brutality in Staten Island and around the United States. I just wanted to touch on something that Dr. Imam said, which I believe he talked about love, and so many of the other panelists talked about love. And as you can see here, we have one of the community members, which actually works at PS 44 for the United Activities Unlimited. And she has a poster here saying love is free. And we truly believe that love is what we need to spread, not hate. Love is what is a catalyst to everything that we want to do and everything we plan to do. Here is a few of the photos that the Staten Island Advance and SI has taken of the march. We will not be silenced, and we just want to make sure we take out a little bit of time to highlight some of the other people that are not here on the call, some of the other people that are part of the community members that are, just as important as us. We have some of the photos here of Black, brown, white, all different races, cultures here. We have a lot of members of the young leaders and also some different young people from the community here. These are just, again, some of the marches. and some of the different people here that supported us as we tried to enact change in our community. Again, our mentor, Ronti, who decided to take a moment of silence, and we appreciate that. Moving forward, we want to move to slide 6. Here we have, unfortunately, there was some oppression and opposition when it came to us doing the march here. We actually, to the point where the NYPD had to put out a statement on their platform, saying that they are working with us and in connection with us, and for it to be a peaceful march. And we just highlighting how we had to stay the course, and we appreciated all the support. Again, we have Isaiah Bufong and Michael Anamodi here. Here is a short clip that shows some of what we was doing during the march.
Water, 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 water. No justice. No racist. No justice. No racist.
Again, that was just a short clip. We have so much documentation from the march, but we wanted to make sure that we keep it short. Moving on to the next thing we did after the marches, we immediately started to focus on registering people to vote and filling out the census. We understood that police brutality affects our communities in a lot of different ways, in a lot of negative ways. But we also understood that the fight means a lot, and it takes a lot of work coming from different angles. And we knew that voters registration and filling out the census is an integral part in helping our communities. So we decided to go to each and every neighborhood on the North Shore in order to register people to vote and to fill out the census. Again, we did a burgers and ballots type of form where we went to the parks and we gave out food, we gave out water, we had PPE because again, it's COVID time, unfortunately. And we decided to, again, get out the vote and get out the census registration. Again, the purpose of these events is to spread awareness to our North Shore communities that they need to be accounted for, and this is the best way to do it. That is a quote from Michael Anamodi. Over the course of these several events, approximately 135 people registered to vote, and about 100 also filled out the 2020 census. Michael Anamodi went further to say some communities don't have access to this information, so our job as a YLSI is to bridge the gap and provide the necessary information. We also want to shout out a different organization that we have partnered with and done a lot of work with, which is La Comena. And we have Yesenia Mata, which is executive director of La Comena, to highlight the brown communities as well as the Black communities and to bring solidarity to the Black Lives Matter movement with the movement of our brown communities. After the burgers and ballots, we wanted to make sure that we highlight education and education equality. So we decided to partner with Sandy Ground and decided to do this first Staten Island 1st of August celebration. We partnered with Sylvia from Sandy Ground and her mother, which are the gatekeepers of the rich history that is on Staten Island in terms of Sandy Ground. We did a historic march commemorating Staten Island's Underground Railroad route that saved countless of lives and brought freedom to many. We understood that this path of liberation was definitely necessary in order to highlight those that came before us that have paved the way for us to do the very things we have done today. Again, Sandy Ground is the oldest continuously inhabited free Black settlement in the whole United States of America, here on our stomping grounds of Staten Island. And we just want to highlight that because that is very, very important, because that is history that we should all know and pass down to the generations. Again, Staten Island served as a stop on the Underground Railroad. Sandy Ground Museum is also home to the largest documentary collection of Staten Island's African-American culture and history. And it is one of the only intact 18th century African-American cemeteries in America. Sandy Ground, if you would like to visit and support, is located on Staten Island at 1538 Woodrow Road in Bloomingdale. And there have also been a petition that has went out on Staten Island to make Sandy Ground an official part of the New York City Department of Education curriculum. Because again, we feel like knowing our history is very important because it can push future generations to want to make change. You know, not to just care about self, but care about others. We also partnered with the Black Fire Percussion to end off our historic celebration. They are a group of young percussionists who go out throughout the city and support and showcase their talents. We have a short clip here showing how they supported us, and we was blessed and honored to have them.
Go ahead, go brother. Go crazy.
Again, we was honored to have them. They ended off our celebration, our standing ground celebration with the bang. It was awesome. We was blessed to have them. After we had the Sandy Ground celebration, we wanted to further support the community with registering to vote and to understand who our different elected officials are and their responsibilities, and to go throughout the voting process and go throughout a mock trial because we understand that the communities, especially on the North Shore, disenfranchised communities, need more education on voting, need more education on why this is important and how it affects them. So again, Know Your Vote is we partner with the Staten Island Democratic Party as well as the New York City Board of Elections. This was our most recent event. The mock election explained what the local positions are and what their duty is, as well as who was running for those positions. And we also plan on doing this further all across Staten Island in order to further get out the vote, in order for us to know about local elections as well and our local officials and how they affect our communities. And last but not least, furthermore, we want to mention our mentor again, Ranti Agunale. Again, we would not be here doing the things we have done without his mentorship and stewardship. Nothing we did as a group could have happened without the help and guidance of Ranti. He opened up his home, quite literally, and workplace to us so that we have a place to meet. He has shown unconditional loyalty as well as while letting us grow within ourselves. And for that, we are forever grateful to him. We cannot support him and thank him enough for everything he has done for us. And we hope that the Staten Island community can help him as he helps them, and supporting him for city council. He is running for city council, and we want to make sure that he gets in because he truly has a heart for the people, as well as a heart for the young people. You can follow us on Instagram at youngleaders__ Staten Island. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook, Young Leaders of Staten Island, as well as Twitter at Leaders Island. And please, we look forward to partnering with all the different organizations here, as well as Peace Action, on doing all the further things that need to be done to support our communities. Please reach out to us on our email, youngleadersofstatenisland@gmail.com, youngleadersofstatenisland@gmail.com. Yet again, I can't thank Peace Action enough for inviting us here and letting us share what we have done with the community further. Thank you so much.
Whoa, thank you so much, Kevin. That was amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm like, I was like, there's a couple of times when I was like tearing up at the work that you're doing and how wonderful it is. And then Sally, we just definitely have to have him run the technology part. I mean, did you see how seamless everything went? That was amazing. I was sitting here going, oh my God, his video is working. Oh, his slideshow is working. So that was also impressive to me too, but more important, obviously more impressive, is the work that you're doing. Oh my God, keep it up, and please let us know how we can support you in your future activities. They're just amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I believe that, and it was Michael that said, we saved the best for last. And so we appreciate you being here today. So I hope you have put December 12th on your calendar for the What's Next event. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here today, taking the time. I know we all have other places to be, other things we can do, though you shouldn't really be doing that much else. You should be sheltering in, but anyway, glad you spent the time with us. And maybe you heard this last week. Dave Chappelle closed Saturday Night Live. And I'm just going to read what he said, because I think it's important when we're talking about healing and love and kindness. I would implore everybody who's celebrating today to remember it's good to be a humble winner. Remember when I was here 4 years ago, remember how bad that felt? Remember that half of the country right now still feels that way, and half of Staten Island feels that way, or more than half. Please remember that for the first time in the history of America, the life expectancy of white people is dropping because of heroin, because of suicide. All these white people out there that feel that anguish, that pain, that man, they think nobody cares. Maybe they don't. Let me tell you something. I know how that feels. I promise you, I know how that feels. You're a police officer, and every time you put on your uniform, you feel like you've got a target on your back. You're appalled by the ingratitude that people have when you would risk your life to save them. Oh man, believe me, I know how that feels. Everyone knows how that feels. But here's the difference between me and you. You guys hate each other for that. And I don't hate anybody. I just hate that feeling. That's what I fight through. That's what I suggest you fight through. You've got to find a way to live your life. You've got to find a way to forgive each other. You've got to find a way to find joy in your existence in spite of that feeling. The past is over. This is a new day, one that you have never lived before. Forgiveness of yourself and others releases you from the past. On behalf of Peace Action Staten Island, I wish you a good evening. I wish you peace. Namaste.